Hey guys, so please excuse my appearance today. I am not well, like I'm not sick, but I am currently really struggling with my iron deficiency. It's been really bad the past few weeks. It's just gotten crazy, so I'm getting my infusion done on Wednesday, but I really wanted to film. I really need to organise like my makeup in here that you can see in the drawers over there. You can see, so I need to like organize all of that, and I figured that I'd film it because, you know, why not. Also, I have a microphone. I currently now am using a Snowball or Blue Snowball. It looks like this, but apparently it's really good at picking up like just my voice rather than like picking up all the background noise, so hopefully that works out well. Anyway, we're going to be cleaning up these drawers. I'll show you what they look like in a minute, and I'm going to bring you guys over and just tidy it up. Let's just jump into it. Yeah, so this is my makeup collection. This is like all like my face products, and then down here I have like all my eye products and eyeshadows and stuff. This is like eyebrows, eyeliners and lip pencils, just because I don't really have anywhere to put them. Anyway, so I'm going to start doing this now. I might declutter some stuff, I might not, I don't know. It's kind of the best that I can do for lighting, guys. I'm so sorry. Anyway, we're just going to get started. So pretty much what I'm going to do is take everything out to kind of just get an empty drawer so I can decide where I want everything. I'm probably going to put most of it up here, so I'm just going to start that. I'll probably put a lot of this in fast forward so you guys get some really satisfying fast forward sounds. Okay, so that's pretty much an empty drawer. That's as far as I'm going to empty it because that's as far as I need to. What I'm going to do is, see, this is the problem that I have with these drawers in particular. Like, it's so deep into the drawer that like I struggle to see what's here. So then I can't really put anything in front of it. I really need to give these a wipe out, but I'm not even going to bother with that. Okay, so I've got that up the back there. That's fine for me to try and open. Like, that's all good. So I guess we'll start with like foundations and stuff. I like to have them like fairly neat. I don't always. This is probably one of my favorite foundations. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. They're my two favorite foundations, the Colourpop No Filter. This is in the shade Light 60. I do need a lighter one of that too. This one, I've had this for so long, but it's still going strong. I do look after my makeup really well. Like, I keep it in a nice, dry, dark, damp, like non-damp place. So my makeup lasts me a lot longer than like it says that it's supposed to last. My Matte and Poreless, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I do keep it. I also keep it for other people, like when I have friends and stuff. A lot of my friends are that sort of colour. This foundation is too light for me. It's also really good during winter, and I use cream, bronzer and contour to make that better. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. So as you can see, I'm just stacking them quite nicely here. So I move my hand so you guys can see. Then I've also got the Australis Stay Put Longwear Foundation. This is in the shade Porcelain. This is actually really nice. It's my SPF one that I use. It is also a little bit too light. Again, it's also kind of the wrong undertone for me. However, I still am going to use it because I actually don't mind it. And then obviously my Colourpop foundation. So they're all just there. I've kind of ordered them this way because it's like tallest to shortest. Next, I'll go in with my setting sprays. So I have a few here. Oh, I've got one more foundation here. This is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. They have discontinued this, and I'm actually going to get rid of this. I never wear it. The last time I wore it, it didn't go on nice. However, I really liked this foundation. I want to try their new one, which is, I can't remember what it's called, but it replaced this. So I want to try that. However, I'm going to put this in an empties video. It's pretty much empty anyway. So I'm going to put this in an empties video. The setting sprays I have is, these are two that I have by Australis. This one is sort of like a more dewy finish, and this one's a matte finish. So I really like both those. Clearly you can see like I've used heaps of that, and this one's probably only about half full. This one I have by Colourpop. It's the All Star Face Setting Spray. I really like this actually. It's really cheap and it works amazing. Then I bought the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I just bought the travel size because one, the bottles are really good, I can refill it once I buy a full size one, and I didn't have enough money to buy the full size one at the time. Same case with the Glam Glow Glow Setter. I didn't have enough money to buy the full size, and also it was the first time I was trying this, so I didn't want to go all out and buy the full one if I didn't like it. However, I do like this, so I am going to buy the full one and keep this for travel. I'm actually just going to lay that straight on top because it'll just sit there quite nicely. Next, I'm going to go in with primers. So the two primers that I have here, and I have more than that. I think I have them in the other drawer. So as you can see, like, they're all just a mess at the moment. This is why I need to like pull them out and do what I'm doing. So I have 4 primers here. Oh, I have, this one's probably my current favorite. Again, the same situation, like I could probably screw this off and refill it when I buy the full one. However, I'd never tried this before, so I just thought I'd buy the travel sized one. I just thought it would be safer to spend my money on like $20 worth other than like $50. So I have that. I'm just going to pop that next to my foundations. I have this one by Australis. I don't use this as much anymore. However, I do still really quite enjoy it. I just never use it because I prefer some of my other ones. Like this one, my Matte and Blur primer. This one is like a real mattifying one. It's the most mattifying one I own. And I do have quite bad pores around my nose, so I do like to have them on hand. I also have my CoverGirl True Blend Base Business Pore Minimizing, and also I find this really brightening because it is that lavender color. However, I really do enjoy that one as well. I'm really considering getting rid of this one. I just never use it. Like, you know what, I never use it, so I'm going to get rid of it and make space for new stuff. I also can't fit it in nicely here where you can see my 3 most used primers, so I am going to get rid of that. So I think now I'm going to go in with my palettes because I can fit my palettes nicely. I stack them up over there. I have my Australis Contouring and Highlighting Kit. This is my powder kit. And then I have one in cream as well. These are very, very used. They're also very, very old, but I love them. I also have my Tarte's Pro Glow palette. I love this. It is like my favorite sort of contouring highlighting kit that I own at the moment, and these two as well, but they're by Tarte as well. So the next one I'm going in with is my Maybelline New York Master Contour Kit. This is in the shade 20 Medium to Deep. It is too warm for me to use as a contour personally. With contouring, I tend to use more of a grey colour because the grey tones sort of make it recede a little bit better. However, as you can see, like I've still definitely used this quite a lot. I love this highlighter shade. It is so pretty. And I also have a blush palette by them too. It's the Maybelline New York Master Blush. I again love this highlighter, and this is my favorite blush in this palette, but I do like these other two. But I definitely, like, if I'm looking for just a nice coral pinky blush, this is the one that I go for, and most of the time if I blush from this palette, I'll use this highlighter too. Now going in with my Australis Take Me On Tour Contouring Highlighter Kit. This is a very similar contour to what's in the big palette, however it's just a little bit more cool toned in my opinion. Obviously banana powder, and this highlighter is quite nice for a natural highlighter. I do quite like it for my natural days. Then I'm going to go in with, I have this bronzer here. This is a new bronzer. You will see this in an upcoming video. I tried it out. This is the Australis Sweet Light Chocolate Scented Bronzer in the shade Ganache Gold. It smells really, really good. And then I'm gonna next put in these two. This is my Tarte Hamptons Weekender palette and my Tarte Tarte's Pro Glow To Go palette. This is actually really, really nice. It's got two highlighters and quite a nice contour slash bronzer shade for me. I can really use this whenever. If I'm really quite dark with my foundation or I have my spray tan on, I am able to use this as a contour. However, I can't use it when I'm pale, but I use it as a bronzer. And then in this has my one of my perfect contour shades. I love this shade. It's got a really nice blush and a really nice highlighter. This is what I often take with me if I'm traveling, or like if I'm going to my partner's house and I want to take makeup with me. This is generally the makeup palette I will take because it just is so good. So they're standing quite nicely there. Oh, I've got these two bronzers too just sitting here. These two are by Colourpop. They're both bronzers, however I use one for contour and one for bronzing. As you can see, one is a lot more cool toned. One is more cool toned than the other. So this one is Spectacle. This is the one I use to contour with. And then this is called Opening Act, and that's the one I bronze with. I forgot to buy the little cases. I need to do that once Colourpop starts shipping again. And then for my powders, I've got two like pressed powders. This one's by e.l.f. It's the Perfect Finish HD powder. It's just a translucent powder. However, I have a problem with white casting with this. So if you're much darker than me, I don't think you'd be able to use this very much. This is my favorite powder, my Ride or Die. It's from the drugstore. It's the Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder. It's oil and fragrance free. And it is in the shade 02 Natural. It's just a really, really nice powder. Like, it's soft. It's not cakey. Like, and you can barely see it once you do blend it in with a brush. So I'm just going to pop them there. And then I've got this powder as well, which is by Physicians Formula. It is a highlighter, however it's very, very natural, so I usually use this as an all-over setting powder sort of thing, or I mix it in with my bronzer if I have a matte bronzer and I want a glowy one. This is the Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in Beige Pearl. Then I have three loose powders here. This one I tend to use all over my face when my foundation is too light, however I have to be careful because it can make me orange. The Matte Finish Loose Powder in the shade 02 Natural Beige. Then I also have the e.l.f. Loose Powder in the shade Sheer. Again, I get a bit of a white cast with that one also. Then I also have this one, which I tend to use under my eyes the most because it's just so finely milled. And this is the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. I can see it when I pop it on my skin because it does have that yellow tinge. However, I find it more brightening than anything. This liquid highlighter, I think I'm also going to get rid of. So, next. So this is all of my eyeshadow palettes and all of my eye products and stuff like that. I'm just going to pull out all the little bits and bobs that I have like this because they get in the way. So I just want to move all of them. This is for, I know it says like Benefit, so you think I'd put all my brow stuff in here. However, I have like scissors, lash glue, tweezers, all that stuff in here. Obviously you could see like glitter stars. These go in here. We will go through that and I'll decide what I'm going to keep and get rid of soon. So I've pretty much only got palettes left here. So this is a brand new BFF mascara. I'm going to hold on to it because it's my favorite. Okay, so this palette again I bought off Wish. It did have a verified tick, however it just, like, it's so pretty. However, it's clearly a ripoff of one of the Huda Beauty palettes, so I'm going to get rid of that also. And now I'm going to just reorganize this. I do it in the same sort of way I do it in length rather than height. So this is my Jeffree Star Androgyny palette. I've had this for years, however it still performs just fine. Like, all the colors and the texture feels the same. It doesn't smell funny. I think it still smells the way it smelled when I bought it. So that's like the biggest indicator for me. If it smells funny or doesn't smell how it smelled when I bought it, I won't keep it. But that still smells the exact same. Blood Sugar is next, and then I have the Urban Decay Born to Run. Again, this is brand new and I absolutely love it. I've used it a few times in a couple of my videos. I also take it to TAFE and use it at TAFE because it is so new and it's so easily sanitized. So then what goes next is this Pro Eyes Profusion Cosmetics palette. Palette's obviously broken. I bought it like that, but I didn't mind because I got a discount off of it, so it was fine by me. Then I've also got my Modern Renaissance palette by ABH or Anastasia Beverly Hills. I need to give all of these a really good clean. Got my BYS Peach eyeshadow palette. This is really pretty. It's not fake makeup. Like, BYS is just a really cheap brand. This isn't the best eyeshadow palette that I've ever used. However, I do like it, and some of these shades are really, really unique, so I won't get rid of it. Then I've got these two Chi Chi palettes. Again, these are very old. However, they still perform the same. They don't stink. This is the Sunset palette, and this is the OMFG palette, the original one. I'm pretty sure they've done like a volume 2, which I do want to buy. Then same sort of packaging, but it is the Rimmel London Magnifies Crimson Edition. This is a very pretty palette, however I find some of the pigmentation to just like not quite be there. Like I feel like I've really got to build up the layers and like really rub into it. However, it is a really pretty palette. Like I've sat here and thought about getting rid of it before, but it just, like, it is a really pretty palette, so I'm going to hold on to it and play with it a little bit more. So then we're going to go in with my Australis Neutralize eyeshadow palette. This is really pretty. I did find that one of these had fallen out of their little hole, so that's obviously staying. And then I have these two Shaaanxo palettes. I've got the original and the remix. The original has the lipsticks on one side. Some of these colors are really unique to my collection, so I really like them, like these nudes and stuff. I don't have anything like that. And then this is like the original side for the eyeshadows. And then the remix has the original side, which that's peeling up. And then the other side is like the real pink side. Again, this is a stunning palette. Like, I love this shade too. It's stunning, and like you can see that's covering up the black so well. Like if I swatch it on a better finger, but like, isn't that stunning? Oh, she just makes such good quality stuff. And then I've also got this Colourpop Femme Rose She palette. I really like this. Some of the metallics don't work quite as well as I would have liked. Like this, like you can see, it's just, they're kind of more like top coats. I do need to give this palette like another shot. I haven't really given it the best shot because the first time I used it, it wasn't the best experience for me. And then I also have this one by Colourpop. Now this one is beautiful and I love this shade. This shade is my favorite. Like, look at that. But yeah, this is like one of my favorite palettes. I used this one mostly in my Colourpop One Brand tutorial, I believe. But this is the Colourpop It's My Pleasure palette. Then I also have these two little ones here. I've got this one by L'Oreal. It's the Shocking Disco S3 like miniature palette. And then I also have this one here by Rimmel. I really like this shade. I'm just going to pop that in there like that. And I am just going to tilt them on their sides like that. Now I've also got this eyeshadow palette here. This is the OMG eyeshadow palette by Crown Brushes. It's a really good palette. I actually use this. I've only used 3 shades. I've used this one, and this one. It's actually quite a nice palette and it wasn't too expensive either. So that just sits down there flat like that. So I'm just going to pull everything out of this. These are just little diamantes. They do have stickers on them, but the stickers don't work very well, so I glue them on. I use this for a lot of festival looks, and if I actually go to festivals, I do actually use them quite a bit. You just cut them. So I'm just going to pop my lashes. I put them, like I flip them like this. So one, I can see both the styles and they just fit a lot nicer like that. And then I'm going to put my 2 Ardell ones there as well. So that's actually going to sit there like that. That's how I used to have it and it fit perfectly, clearly. These 2 palettes, I'll decide where I'm going to put them in a minute. Lashes stuff can just sit there. This packaging is kind of broken, however, I still really love this stuff. It is the Australis Oh Highbrow Brow Shaping Kit. So that can just go there like that. And then I also have the, we'll actually pop that on the other side because I have eyeshadow palettes. And then I also have the e.l.f. sort of like brow bar thing. This is in the shade medium. This I like for more of a natural look. This pomade or wax isn't quite as intense as my Australis, however I do still really like it. So that can just go next to my Australis brow stuff. I'm just going to put these 2 little palettes in here, just because that's where I usually have them. And then what I'm also going to do is these 2 blushes I never use, so I'm going to get rid of them. They were also really old. Like I've had these since I was like 13 and I'm now like about to turn 22. So I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to just pop my pencil sharpener in here. This, where's my other one? So all this stuff is going to go in this little thing. So I've got a gel eyeliner by Maybelline New York, the Eye Studio. This is in the shade Blackest Black. I do just leave that sitting up like that because I can see it. Like, it's the only gel eyeliner I have that's by Maybelline, and I know it's the black one. I have another one for TAFE that I use sometimes. Then I also have this OX cream eyeshadow. I remember when I used this, I really, really liked it. However, I've just never used it since. So I might keep that and try it again. It doesn't say what color it's in, but I did really, really like this, so I will keep it. That one I flip upside down so I can see the color of it. Then I have these two metallics eyeshadows by Australis. This one's in the shade Pearl Jamming. This one's my favorite. You guys would, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know this shade. It's always in my videos as my inner corner highlight. Like, it's just so reflective and so beautiful. And then I've also got the shade JZ. I use this in my Taurus look. That's the other one that I have there. I have this purple glitter. This was from my cheerleading days. This is from LA Splash Cosmetics in the shade Phenomenon. It's a really beautiful, like, purple glitter. So I'll also leave that in there like that. Then I have this Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadows. This is in the shade Kitten Karma. I love this. You guys have seen me use this in a few tutorials. So I'm just going to stand that up in the corner like that. And then my two highlighters, or actually, you know what, I am going to pop these up here instead because I was only keeping them down there because I didn't have the room. These are the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Pearlized highlighters. This is my older one. I've had this one for a few years, but it still works really well. Like I said, I keep my makeup really well preserved. It also cracked a little bit in transit. When I got it, it was a bit cracked, so I kind of had to push it back together. But this is this shade Flexi Tyrant. It's just a beautiful, like, silvery gold color. I know that sounds really weird, like silvery gold, like more, maybe more like a white gold sort of color. And then this is my newest one. This one's in the shade Lunch Money. This is more of like a pure gold sort of color. It's still so stunning. So you can see the difference between them there. This one's definitely a bit darker and more like icy white gold. And then this one is more of like a pure gold sort of shade. So I've just popped them up the back there like that. So for these two eyeshadow palettes, I think I'm just going to lay them on top like that. Then my mascaras can just sit there like that. And I'm going to put my eyelash curlers there. I don't use them very often, however I do still use them every now and again. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I've only got this to sort of go through now, so I'll just quickly sort of see if I want to get rid of anything from here. Gimme Brow, I still have heaps of this left. This is staying 100%. I love that. My Precisely My Brow Pencil is pretty much completely like out. Like, that's all I have left, if you can even see that. So I barely have anything left. So I'm going to pop that in the empties video as well. I still love this. It's a liner, a blue liner. Love that. I've used that in a few videos. This is a green concealer or a corrector stick. Look, I really don't use these very often anymore. However, I am going to keep it because you never know. It's the only one that I have, so for eyeliners as well. So I've got two black ones. This one is by L'Oreal. I barely use this. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. I never use it. If I'm going to go for a black, I usually will go for this or a gel. This is the Smudge Stick by Skin. I just think it works so much better. Like, look at how dark and pigmented that is compared to the pencil. And it really does kind of like last. And then I also have this one which matches the cream eyeshadow base. It doesn't really show up in the waterline very well, but it is very pretty, so I use it like on the lid. That is by OXS. It's an eyeliner pencil, OXX I should say. Again, doesn't have a shade color on it. And then this one is by Colourpop. It's the cream gel liner. It's in the shade Honey Dude. It's just a nude eyeliner, and it's the only one I have, and it is really, really, really nice. So I do pop that upside down so I can see the colour. Now for eyebrow pencils as well, I have this one by Colourpop, but this one's empty. However, I really, really, really like the spoolie on this. I know that's really random, but I guess that's a very similar spoolie. So I'll just keep my Goof Proof by Benefit. I still have heaps of this left. Like, I still have heaps of that left, especially compared to how much you got in like Precisely My Brow and stuff. I have heaps of that left. So I'm going to obviously keep my Goof Proof, and I'll pop this in an empties video as well. For my other brow setter, I do like to have a drugstore one on hand. This one's by Maybelline. It's the Brow Drama. You guys have seen that before. I used to use that religiously on my channel. This is to stick glitter to my eyelids. It's the Splash Proof. I don't know what it is, but it's by LA Splash. Obviously, it's all rubbed off. I can't really read it anymore. So I like to keep that just to have that on hand. This is my only liquid liner I own. I need to buy more of these. I want to buy it in every color, the brown, like all of them, and I need more liquid liners. I need to go and do that because I can see like it's about that full. So we need to do that. And I also keep my lip liners in here because I just find it's a really good place to store them. So I've got a red. I have this really dark vampy color by Kylie. However, it's like broken and comes out, but it is a very nice color. I like to use this to do ombre lips when I'm doing like a red lip, so I won't get rid of that one yet. Again, I flipped these upside down so I can see the color, except for the red one. Actually, no, I will flip the red one upside down anyway. So I flip them upside down because the color swatch is on the bottom. Even though this one has the lid, I like them all to be that way. You guys have seen this in heaps of videos. This is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil. This is in the shade Little One. It's just a really nice nude. It's like a My Lips but better color. So that goes in there, and then pop the lid on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you did. The last video I did of these did okay actually. It wasn't too bad, like cleaning my beauty room and stuff. But I figured that like this I could show you like my makeup collection as well as like my favorite sort of products, as well as clean it up a little bit. I just thought it would be interesting to film. If you guys hate it, just let me know. If you guys love it, let me know. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, follow all my social medias that you saw pop up on the screen before, and yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye. I wonder what went wrong today, eh? Why do I feel like I linger between the words to say, eh? To say the words to remember.